If you love tools like I do and you like things that are really well made, I think you're going to enjoy this video because I've got some pretty cool tools I just got in from Motion Pro.
This video is sponsored by Cruiseman's Garage Honda Goldwing Maintenance Video Series.
Hey y'all, this is Cruiseman, and today we're going to talk about some tools that I got from my friends over at Motion Pro when I was at EICMA last November, I guess it was, in Italy, in Milan. Our booth was right next to the Motion Pro booth, and I went over there and talked to the guy, got to know him. And they have some really cool stuff. Now, I've used Motion Pro products in the past. I just didn't have any idea they made so many different tools. So they were kind enough to send me some things to look at and to try and to talk to you about. So the first thing I want to show you is this metric T-handle wrench set. And these things are super, super heavy duty. These look almost identical to the ones that Max McAllister uses at Traction Dynamics. I see them all the time. And I think if you do a lot of work on motorcycles, ATVs, toys, these are the metric, but they do make these in SAE as well. And it comes in this little vinyl pouch. Very, very heavy. I mean, they're very cool. These are nickel pewter plated, and they are solid as can be. And if you need to get in, they're deep sockets. These are 6-point sockets. They're very deep, so if you need to get down into a deep area to get something out, you can. And you've got this long T-handle to really get some torque. And then, of course, you can very easily, spin the nut off with your hand. And so these come with 8mm, 10mm, 12, 14, 17, and 19. I like these. I've just got to figure out where I'm going to put them. Now, they do come, or they did send me, a T-handle rack. I've just got to figure out where I'm going to mount it and how I'm going to mount it. And these just slip down in that rack. So it's very, very cool. Or of course you could leave them in the vinyl pouch. So check out the T-handle set. Now I did find these on Amazon, and I will put a link to these in the description of the video, because when I looked on their website, they said they're currently out of stock, but they do have them on Amazon. So I'll put a link down below. Okay, the next tool, and this is something that I have used, and I've used it frequently, and I absolutely love it, and that is their hydraulic bleed tool. Now what this is basically is a one-way check valve that makes bleeding your brakes or your clutch a one-man job. You don't have to have one person down there opening up the bleed valve while you squeeze the brake lever to pump fluid through. You can do this by putting this on your bleed valve. One end goes on the bleed valve, the other end of the hose goes into a catch bag or a cup or some kind of jug or something, just to catch the old fluid. And as the fluid pumps down the line through this first hose, it gets to this one-way check valve, and it will allow the fluid to go out, but it won't allow air to go back in. So when you release your brake or clutch lever, it stops the flow. This is a very handy tool. I have one, and they sent me another one, but I've already got one and I love it. I use it all the time. I also use speed bleeders, which is the same concept, except you have to replace your bleed valves. With this tool, you don't have to replace the bleed valves. And on the 2018 Goldwing, there's a couple of places that are pretty hard to get to up on that rear brake to replace that top bleed valve. So you might find this to be a little more convenient. And depending on your motorcycle or your other vehicles, of course, you can use these on anything. It doesn't have to be a Goldwing, it could be any motorcycle. The next tool that I'm also really excited about, and honestly, I've been looking for these for a long time, and I had no idea Motion Pro made them. But it's a magnetic nut driver set. And this is the metric, and it's got 5mm all the way up to 13mm. Now I have I believe this is a 1/4-inch drive. Yes, 1/4-inch hex drive. And I'll tell you exactly where I'm going to use it, and I'm going to use it in just a couple of days. I'm going to get this 8mm off of here, and I'm going to use it when I remove the bolts for this rear view mirror, because I have dropped 2 of those 8mm bolts down into the shelter. I know I should have stuffed a towel in. Sometimes I get in a hurry and I forget and I don't do it. But with this magnetic nut driver, I don't need to worry about it. It's going to stick to this, and it looks like a heavy-duty magnet. And these, like the other Motion Pro tools, look like super, super high quality, very durable, and they come with a little carrying case. I'm really excited about this one. Again, I'll put a link in the description of the video if you're interested in these. Now, let's take a look at the last tool, which is just kind of a little utility tool. It's called their Mag Pro. And this is just a magnetic pickup tool. But what's unique about it is it's flexible. It's like on a flexible tube. Hang on, let me open this up and I'll show you. So what makes this so cool, I've got magnetic, tools that are on the little extender. They look like old-timey radio antenna. But with this is flexible. Look at that. You can bend it any way. What a great idea. So if you need to get down into some really weird place on your motorcycle, and this tube is very thin, I'd say it's maybe 3/8 of an inch at the most, and it's got the magnet on the tip. So if you need to pick up a tool that you've dropped, you can see it's grabbing that one, just no problem. Or a socket. If you drop a socket or a screw or something down into the shelter or some obscure place, and it looks like it's about 18 inches long, maybe 24 inches long. So it's plenty long, especially for a motorcycle. I really am going to use this. I can't wait. And when it comes time to store it, you can just roll it up like this and put it on a hook or something. It's very easy to get out of the way. I like that. Or you could throw it in your glove box or in the trunk or wherever. It's very, very light, very small, doesn't take up a lot of space. So very cool tools from Motion Pro. I want to thank my friends over at Motion Pro for sending these things over to me today to take a look at and to share with you. Again, I'll put links to these in the description if you're interested. And if you have any questions about these, put them in the comments down below. I'd like to know your thoughts. Maybe you have some of these Motion Pro tools that you use. And if you enjoyed this video, do, like always, please give it a thumbs up. That really does help the video, helps out the channel. And if you haven't done so already, I know most of you maybe have, but if you haven't done so already, please subscribe. Click that little subscribe button down below. Don't forget the notification bell. And I will see you on the next Cruiseman's Garage. And until then, ride often, but ride safe.